Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So, as you can see, I am not in my usual location. So, today I'm actually working from my workspace. This is basically where I come when I need to like create something when I'm working on clothes or when I'm doing my readings. I will come here. It's just more space. The feng shui is way better over here. It's everything is like white natural light in here. So when I just need to get in a certain vibe, I will come and work from here. You can't really see everything the way my camera is set up, but yeah. So anyway, I have a whole bunch of like errands and stuff to do today, but before I get to that, I did want to make a quick video just to highlight the last 21 days has been very, very interesting. So I am literally just coming off of a 21-day fast, and I will always, always, always be an advocate for fasting. I've done like so many different types of fast before. So, intermittent, sun up to sundown, 7-day fast. I've done 3-day fast before with no food at all. Actually, it was 2.5 because I couldn't even make it to day 3. It was just I was about to pass out. But like I'm always like doing different types of fasts, even if they are unsuccessful with the duration. Maybe I might not make it through like the full entire duration for the time that I set. But again, I'm a big advocate because it does have a lot of benefits when you're doing it with intention. So, some of the reasons why I'm such a strong advocate, well, first thing is that fasting really allows you to gain autonomy over your vices, your addictions, and your bad habits. If you want to see, how certain things really have control over you and what areas it affects you, you try fasting and you will see clear as day like what the issues are, because like sometimes these habits, these vices and things, it controls you rather than you having control over it. So definitely if you need to build that stamina, you would want to fast, but also like for things like spiritual clarity. So if you are in a space where you're lost, you feel misguided, you want to like you want God to reveal like a purpose or something that you are like in search of, fasting can help with that. If you want to hear God's voice clearer, fasting can help with that as well, because essentially you are starving your flesh and all the worldly aspects of things and going directly to connect inward to connect with your spirit, which is like the connection that you need to be able to hear God. You need to be connected to your highest self to hear God. So it can help with that. Obviously discipline, that's a big one, and self-control, because a lot of us, again, we like the things of the world have control over us. So it helps. So in that case, we're lacking discipline, and discipline is needed to see success in whatever area that it applies to. So it helps you to like say no to temptation, but say yes to your higher self, essentially. Fasting can help you to receive spiritual breakthroughs. If you need renewal, or if you're looking to be forgiven for something, fasting can help you with that. If you just need like a mental and a physical detox, because we put a lot of bullshit into our bodies. A lot of the foods we eat are toxic or not good for us. They're parasitic. We have worms and all that stuff like that. The foods that we eat, definitely, that's it, that phrase, you are what you eat. So if you're needing to give yourself a reset in that way, fasting can help as well. Also, another thing that I find is that if there is something very specific, like a very specific goal, fasting can help you to achieve that goal. Like in some instances, fasting can also accelerate your prayers. So it's really all about your intention and what you are seeking. For me, the reason why I decided to go on a fast was because I really like desperately needed to develop discipline, because that's the one thing that I fall short in, is having discipline just in so many different areas. Discipline in getting my tasks done, discipline with even connecting to God. So that's another reason to strengthen that connection, because honestly speaking, I am not always praying and commuting every single day like I should, especially for somebody who like me, who's very spiritual. Sometimes like I drift and I go certain periods without like praying, without doing the spiritual work, without grounding and doing that, and that is not a good thing to do. So I really needed to get back into the groove of being consistent with the fast that I was doing. I kind of put together a journal. So every day I had In this journal, it came with like prompts that I had to do, like reflections, journal work. It came with scriptures that I have to say, what's my goals for the day. And I actually put it together. So if any of you are interested in doing that for yourself, I can list the link to where you can get that journal for yourself. And it also comes with like 3 weeks worth of 3 weeks of inspired meal plans. So if you just need ideas of what the hell you can eat, because I will get to that, what type of fast it was. Just like snack ideas, all of that stuff is in that journal. But anyway, yeah, so I chose to do the fast for discipline and just strengthening my connection. So discipline in getting my goals done, discipline in what I was eating, because I do have a bad habit of going to comfort foods when I am under stress or experiencing overwhelmed sadness. Those type of emotions cause me to crave comfort foods, especially sugary foods. And within the last, I want to say 2 years, yeah, the last 2 or 3 years, because I'm about to be 33. Oh my God. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm actually turning 25 this year. Yeah. Seriously though. The last, I want to say 2 to 3 years have been very stressful. So I've been binge eating the most within those time periods during periods of emotional distress. So I did see a lot of changes like in my body, um, in my like hormonally and stuff like that. And once you get into the 30s club, listen, your body does not do the same things that it was doing in the early 20s, even the late 20s. It's just like nobody prepared me and warned me for that. So it's like stuff like the fat is just sticking in areas where it doesn't belong. And I like the size, but everything just needs to be toned up. From the waist down, perfect, but like upwards, we need to work on that. So like the foods that I was eating really tells a story of what was going on, and it tells all in like the way that my body has like transformed. But nonetheless, I really just wanted to get a grip of what I was consuming and making those lifestyle changes. So the particular fast that I did was the Daniel fast, and it was based off of a prophet in the Bible, Daniel, who he was a prophet, a dream interpreter, and like an advisor for the kings. And Daniel went on this fast, so he can stay spiritually clean in a world that was very corrupted, and to maintain divine understanding and faith, and to really just make sure he stayed close to God. So in turn, God honored his discipline with wisdom, with favor, and with powerful revelations. So that's kind of like reflects where I'm at in my personal journey as well. Now, of all the fasts that I've ever done, the Daniel fast was the most strict one, because it wasn't just like, intermittent where you eat whatever you want, and then for a certain amount of hours and then you can eat again after sundown. No, with this, you're able to eat, but you are restricted from so many things. So with the Daniel fast, you cannot eat no meat, no seafood, no dairy, no type of sugars or sweeteners, no processed foods, no bread, no snack. Like essentially, it's like a very strict vegan diet. So everything has to be whole foods. You can't even eat rice. So you can eat brown rice, but you can't eat like regular rice. So you're restricted to fruits, vegetables, whole grains, like quinoa, brown rice, things like that, couscous, and beans, all type of beans. And that's pretty much it. It's very strict. So you have to be very creative with these meals. Now, I want to say that within this fast, like because I had to get creative, I was like playing around with different spices. The meals was hitting though, still, like to the point where my mom was like, she was so happy to come home. Like I'm cooking all the time. And my mom is vegetarian. So this is the things that she likes, because usually she can't eat what I cook because I'm not vegetarian. So she can't eat, she doesn't eat meat or anything. She's been like that her whole life. So she doesn't eat the same things that I do, although I eat some of what she does because I don't mind. Like I like vegan food as well. So it wasn't too hard, but it was just the fact that you can't even use butter. So I forgot to mention that. Only specific oils like olive oil, avocado, coconut oils you can use. So it's like you gotta really again be creative with the spices and how you're flavoring the foods. It was pretty interesting. And especially for me, like I typically consume a lot of sugary stuff. Anybody that knows me knows my favorite thing is cake. I love cake, cupcakes, pastries, cookies, ice cream. That I'm not really a candy person. I might eat some chocolate depending on what kind of chocolate it is, but that's my thing. Like I love the sweets. And at first, I want to say like the first week, it was kind of hard because I'm like, damn, like what am I supposed to do? Like what else? I'm after I'm eating my meal, I want something sweet and I can't have it. So it's like every day was a internal battle. Like man, f this fast. Like let me just break. Like nah, I gotta have this. I want my regular stuff. So you do go through that like mental like damn should I just like maybe a little bit might not hurt. Okay, if I break the fast today, maybe I can like start over. And these are some of the thoughts that come through your head. So you really got to challenge them. But I want to say after the first week, my body started to get adjusted. So I really didn't crave the sweets as much. But throughout the entire fast, the one thing that really stood out was that I really just still was craving the meat. So at a point like the junk and all of that stuff, I didn't really care about, but I really just wanted meat so bad, like any form of meat. And it's funny because there was a point where I did want to become vegan. Like I did it for a short period of time years ago. I just went cold turkey, cut out everything, but I was not putting back the proper nutrients in my body. So I was getting sick a lot. And I'm like, yeah, nah, let me just start eating meat again. And that's kind of how I went back into eating meat. But with this fast, I realized that I really don't want to be vegan as much as I can do it. I do still want to eat the meat. So it's like I want to stick with the strict diet that I was on. Like I really love it. It made me feel really great. I lost like 9 pounds on this fast without even exercising. So I know if I would have been actively working out while doing the fast, I would have like lost even more. But I do still want to eat chicken periodically and fish, just like not as often as I was before. So before I would like eat that shit every day, but now when I'm thinking about it, I might just cut it down to like no more than 2 times a week. I will have that. But I've really adapted to this diet. And they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. And like in these 21 days, I really felt like this has become a routine for me. So I want to stick with it. So things that I have noticed is that my dreams were a little bit more vivid. I mean, I'm always a dreamer. I dream every single night, so I'm always having dreams, although I might not always remember them or they might not always make sense, but I know that I did have a few very vivid dreams. Like when you're fasting, you will be privy to so much information, like especially if you are already intuitive. But even if you're not and you're just like actively building that connection, you will start to see that things will be revealed to you. I was getting like downloads about other people's business. I don't know why that happens. I don't know why certain things I had to know. It's kind of funny, but I was just like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with this information? Or sometimes you will be revealed things that you might not necessarily want to hear. That's the annoying part, because it's like, damn, when God reveals certain truths to you, it's like you really was not looking to hear that. Like I really could have went without knowing that. Not really. Certain things you do need to know, but it's like, damn, like I really this is what has to. The conversation starts to get more clear. So for certain people, the most easiest way that God or your angels, your spirit guides, however, whatever have you, the easiest way that they get to people is through either dreams or numbers. So a lot of people see angel numbers all day, every day. The most common ones are obviously the repetitive ones, like the 111s and the 222s. Like that's just standard, like easiest way to get somebody's attention. But you will notice as you commune with God and you're like doing it more consistently and frequently, the conversation gets even more sharper, more clearer, more unique signs and synchronicities. So they'll talk to you through all forms, all through whatever medium. Um, whether that's the numbers, like I said, or the dreams, or it can be very specific, like paintings, writings on the wall. It could be in the form of like animals, so animal totems, spirit animals, that type of thing, through songs, through other people. So yeah, it was just like back to back. Every single day was a conversation, and it was very unique to what I to how our relationship is. That's why it's important to have your own specific personal relationship with God and your angels, because they talk to you in a way that's unique. It's your own personal language. So yeah, I was getting a lot of downloads. So I'll say like a few things that really stood out to me was Libra scales. So I was seeing a lot of Libra scales throughout this fast. And for me, when I see Libra scales, it's all like the first thing I always think about is Ma'at. So Ma'at is basically like a set of principles in Egyptian culture. And Ma'at, those principles were personified into a goddess that represents justice, okay, divine justice, balance, things of that nature. Which justice is like one of my biggest core values. I'm very big on that fairness, integrity, righteousness, things of that nature. So things that I was revealed, like the reason why I felt like that was coming into play for me was I know that there is something spiritually brewing where this karma is like balancing out the scale. So certain things that I've been through in the past, like it's time for that to balance out. I know that was one thing that was representative of that Libra scale. Libra scales also represent partnerships, relationships, and stuff like that, because Libra energy, that's Venus energy, is about those type of things. So like relationship revelations, things of that nature. And for somebody who needs a little bit more help with decoding, if you have your chat GPT trained well enough, you can actually, that could be a medium that spirit can talk to you through whatever medium. It doesn't matter what it is: cowrie shells, Uno cards, tarot, oracle, the astrology, like songs, even something like chat gpt. So it really just if that's something that you need as a resource to help you decode stuff, I definitely would suggest that for anybody if you're seeing signs. But for me, I can kind of decode certain things. I have different mediums and measures that I use, but sometimes I will use chat gpt. So when I asked specifically about the Libra scales, I liked what the message came for it. So I was like, I asked to talk in the form of like my spirit guide. What are you trying to tell me with these scales? And it said, I am balancing what has been unfair. I'm asking you to release what tips your heart out of alignment: fear, frustration, overgiving. I'm restoring harmony within and without. Trust that the scales are tipping in your favor, but first weigh your heart. Let it be light with love, faith, and clarity. And then that's the other thing too that I was noticing, like so many symbolisms with hearts. I was seeing a lot of hearts during this fast as well. So there was one instance where I was like taking out my daughter's braid. She had knotless braid, so I'm cutting it out and just throwing it on the floor. And then like when I was finished, I noticed that like well, I wasn't finished yet, but when I looked, I noticed that one of the braids kind of made a shape of a heart, like right here. Let's see, which was interesting. So I'm like, hearts was a big thing, Libra scales, a lot of different numbers, morning bird. I don't even want to get into the morning bird symbolism because I kind of didn't like how that sign came out, because it was in relation to something that was going on with um all this Diddy and Cassie and stuff, and but it was a sign in relation to my good sis Lauren London. I didn't really like how the sign came out, so I just like, yeah, I dismissed that one. And that's what I mean by like you will be revealed certain things, and it's just like, well, why? What am I supposed to do with this? Or you might not necessarily like how it comes out or what it's about. Um, there was something else too. I'm like, okay, God, I see that you're really talking to me. I've been asking you about something specific for the last couple of years. I ain't received the sign yet that I needed. So now I have to get a little clever, because it's like something that I really, really want, something that I really like, there's something that I really want to work out. So I'm like, I ain't get a sign about this thing yet. Let me try and ask about it again. And while I'm in this fasting energy, so I'm like, I asked the question again for the same specific sign that I wanted. So I'm like, if this is a yay, give me a sign in this thing that I've been asking for. If it's a nay, give me a sign in something else. The day after, why the hell I seen the sign in the form of like if it's not from, and I was not happy. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't speak anything about this. I didn't tell anybody about this sign. I kind of just was like, damn, what I'm supposed to do with this information now? So like again, you will be revealed certain things, but even if it's something that you don't necessarily want to hear, it's like you got to know that God always has your best interest, and God is light years ahead of you. So what doesn't make sense in your cardinal mind, like in your worldly mind, it makes sense in spirit. So you kind of just gotta like roll with it, even though it's like, damn, your ego is hurt a little bit because this is something that you really, but you just never know what you're being protected from. What's in relation to this thing that you desire can cause you harm in the long run. So that was something I had to reflect on. Now, challenges. So challenges that I did have with this fast again was just those mental thoughts about breaking the fast, wanting to go back into like old habits and things like that. I did have a moment where I kind of like messed up and I was like, damn, like well, what do I do now? But all I had to do was really just pray it out, pray about it. And God told me to continue with the fast. It's okay. So when you do have moments, if you do happen to slip up, I would say that don't just like renege everything or don't just like quit. Just observe like what was the thing that caused you to break fast, or why did you need to do, why did you take this action? Like those reflective questions are very helpful. So I did slip up one time. Like I was craving meat so bad that I had tofu. And I wasn't supposed to eat that. It's not that the tofu, it was more so because of the way that it was made. You're not supposed to eat fried foods. And the tofu was fried. And I didn't even enjoy the damn, I didn't even enjoy it either. It's like, damn, I did that for no reason. Like, But then another thing that happened was that on the very last day is when I really like slipped up for real. And I was just like, oh, like, of course, on the last day, I'm like literally at the finish line, but it was an emotional trigger. So again, like I said in the beginning, I am an emotional eater. So I'm like, fuck it, like, whatever. Like it's the last day I messed up. Like, what am I gonna do? But it was just that I was overwhelmed with something, and then those impulses, those habits kicked back in, and I did not. It's just like I was absorbed in that, in those emotions. So there was pizza, and I'm like, I didn't eat either. I didn't really eat. It's like a big gap between the time that I woke up, because I ate breakfast like fruits and stuff, but within the space of the hours that passed, something came up. It was an emotional trigger. I was not happy. So the pizza. And I understand those people on, what's that show, 600 Pound Life. We now I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes like the shit on the show be funny. It'd be like things that you just like haha kiki, but I can understand them in the sense that like I understand like how certain emotions, you know, you crave some type of comfort, some type of something that will make you feel better, and it could be food. Food is especially certain kinds of foods is very addictive, with the sugars or the additives and stuff. So like when you get that craving, I mean when you satisfy that emotional, that hunger, you know, it can temporarily make you feel good, but again, it's very quick, it's very fast lived. So I ate the pizza, I felt a little bit better, but then it's like, yeah, that was very short lived. And I'm like, damn, I shouldn't, like, I didn't even like it for real. It didn't even taste that good to me. So I slipped up with that, and then I was still in a mood for the rest of the day. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm already like messed up. Like, so I had a chicken salad. And this shit was so nasty. I hated it. So I'm like, yeah, this is God's way of like getting back at me, but not too hard, not too harsh. But it's like, yeah, you see what happens when you don't follow through and honor your commitments, not to be happy. So that's what happened. Like the salad had freaking bacon bits in the fucking salad. I don't even eat bacon. I don't eat pork. So I was like having to like sift through and like move all like the pork out of the way. It was just a lot, and I did not enjoy it. But I did reflect. I did like pray about it and stuff like that. So it was just a thing where I divinated it at a point, and it was just like, okay, now you see where the work still is for you. So yeah, I took that, something I still need to work on. But that moment of that indiscretion still didn't take away from the fact that I literally did amazing with like restricted from especially the most important things for me. I had not had no type of sweets or anything. I didn't cheat with that. Um and I didn't have like actual meat or anything like that. So I still like felt proud like I did it. So for me, it really just showed like the strength of your mind. Like everything starts with the mind. And if I can, apply discipline to the foods that I'm eating, I can apply that discipline to anything, especially my goals, which is where I'm really locked in and focused on because I have these big goals that I'm after and I'm trying to accomplish. And it's going to require me to be in a specific mindset, have a specific attitude. My emotions got to be in check so I'm not triggered and, going through these emotional spurts where I'm dwelling or being like a negative Nancy and not focused on what I need to do. I need that spiritual discipline so that God can direct me on what to do, what not to do, who's for me, who's not for me, what opportunity to go after, what's not, aligned, and things of that nature. So I need discipline in all those areas. And even physically, which is going to be my next thing to tackle is my physical goals. Have that endurance, have that stamina to, go after, not be burnt out. And even too for like aesthetics, when you look good, you feel good, you do good. So all of those things. So again, fasting is something that I will always advocate for. If you needing to implement some type of discipline, even if you can't do 21 days, you can start small. Start with a day. Start with 3 days. Something like that. But it does help. And yeah, I've seen so many different things has come from this fast. Two opportunities presented itself for me during this fast. I had a prophet prophesy to me, and it was so spot on. I just could not believe it. Even specific days that he gave me, and with the fast journal that I was doing, every day had a specific theme. So there were certain days where like I would receive things and it would be directly related to the theme of that day, and it was just like wow, like, you can't even make this up. So yeah, definitely if you feel called to try it, do it. Remember that it's not about perfection, but it's just being intentional. God is going to meet you where you are. And yeah, if you are interested in checking out that journal, it's called the Daniel Fast Journal that I created. I will list it for you, and you can print it out if you want, or you can write on it digitally. It's up to you, however you want to go about it. But yeah, super helpful. And I'm gonna just leave it off here. Let me go finish all my errands that I have to run for the day. I do have to. Oh shit, this is dead. And I hope you guys like this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.